yo, word is bond. Let's do this.
Let's get it.
Let's get it on.
Was that a question? Was that a period? Was that a...
Yes, that is a question.
Dot.
All right, we are back. Back. Cut, Clothe, Brian, Knockin', Dave. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody's here. We're back.
What's
Just
good?
had some good food. Check it out, Chef Dwight Oden.
Chef Dwight
Thank you
Oden.
for the great food, man.
Yes.
That fish. Oh my God.
That was awesome, huh?
That was awesome. Thanks for sponsoring the show.
Word.
Thanks for coming by, delivering it, preparing it, all that good stuff.
Right.
Local businesses, man, we're trying to help everybody out. So anybody who wants a shout out, things like that, we don't have an email address or a phone number just yet, but we'll have one.
Right.
We'll have one. We have one. We just don't.
We have a couple. Oh.
Yeah,
Am I not allowed to give anything out?
We can give it out the next
Right,
time.
exactly. Build up the promo.
Yeah, building up the promo. You know how we do.
Hey.
So, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It's cool. I just wanted to talk about something.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
I want to talk about streaming, podcasting, like content, right?
Sure.
So I want to talk about content and, this thing that we call content, right?
Right.
Content's been around forever, right? Whether it's books, whether it's art, you know what I mean? However a person expresses themselves, right?
Right.
Expression is everything. Getting things off your chest, expression, putting the feeling out there, right? And this thing that we call podcast, vlogs, video podcast, and such.
So let's talk about that, right? So David and this David.
Yeah, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You, we listen to podcasts.
We do.
And
Right.
I think, David.
We were talking about that over dinner.
Yeah. So David, I think you can agree. We just kind of started listening to this, but it sounds like it's been around for some time. And when I first met B Knockin', he was talking to me about his podcast.
Right.
And I just thought, man, I'll listen to it from a fan's perspective, right? But let's talk about like the ins and outs of it.
Right.
Where's it been? How did it start? Like where you've been with it? What kind of podcast it was? Talk to us.
So when I started podcasting, right, I don't feel like it was a popular thing.
No, it's just like radio.
You know what I mean? Or
Right.
it was new radio. We called it new media. We called it new media. This is before K and Yale had a podcast. This is before Clear Channel was a podcast app.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like right before the TuneIn app had been created, we had this app and we were streaming, and the person who created this app, right, he had walked away from regular radio and created his own form of streaming, and it just kicked off, right? You had, like, what's the name of the one podcast where they do the crime stories or whatever?
Oh, I don't know. I just keep on like a catch.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I do.
So all
Yeah.
these different podcasts that blew up over the years, right? It's became this huge. They have the podcast awards now, and there's a Clear Channel podcast award. Then there's another group that does podcast awards, and there people are getting awarded for the content that they're presenting to people. The new media has taken to the point to where, like I said, Yale has created a podcast. They don't have to just be streaming on your radio station right now. You could go listen to whoever's segment whenever you want to listen to them. Apple has created their own Apple Music app, and in their app they have their own podcast channel where you can go listen to all their different radio shows on demand. On demand entertainment has kicked to such of a high level with the Netflix and the different things. Like now Disney is making their own app where they're creating on-demand content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it got to the point to where on-demand content was like, oh, they didn't stream it enough in these 2 weeks. Oh, we're canceling that. You know what I mean? These people like Charlemagne the God, right? See the God, he talks about how he does doesn't have a college degree. He didn't go to school for radio, but he walked into radio, and walking into radio changed his life. And now he has these free media, these new media forms of ways of getting his content out that promoted his book and all this stuff. Now he's huge. You know what I mean? So I was a person in the Bay Area where I felt like, yo, we need this place where we could give people the music, right? We need to get the underground artists, and we need to be able to present them to fans, to people. We need to create a show that isn't just giving you mainstream music. We're getting the artists, we're bringing them in, we're sitting down and talking to them.
Getting to know them.
Yes,
The real
yes. And that's where I created the Overnight Celebrity Show and the podcast thing about 8 years ago. And from there, I just was like, yo, I don't know what the freak to do with this anymore. This doesn't motivate me.
Yeah.
This doesn't motivate me because people aren't motivated by this. I gotta find what's gonna motivate these people, and how can I motivate these people and bring some content to them that is like, yo, they're on some next level shit. You know what I mean? And now we're sitting down talking about things like, what's the name of your company again?
Spot Trender.
Spot Trender. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
So, yeah, you're kind of just highlighting. There's just so much more content that's being created. Like,
Yeah.
as a content creator, how do you know if you're making something that's gonna work for your audience?
right.
Is that
Well, there's no limit to making it work for your audience as long as you go make it work for your audience and you keep building your audience.
So yeah, just expanding.
So I guess
your audience, is that the main goal?
Yes. To continue to expand on your audience, to continue to build your shit, and to continue to never lose that passion or that fire to keep delivering something to somebody that you don't know who's listening to you. You don't know who's following you.
Yeah, exactly. So a podcast. So what type of podcast was that? Like, was it
That was a hip hop show.
hip hop show? Okay.
That was a hip hop talk show, mix show.
So here's something to think about, right? If you're doing something like Brian B Knockin', right? He had his own podcast, hip hop. Most people would think, if I can get E40 on there, Too Short, somebody big, I'll get these followers.
Right.
That's not necessarily true, is it? Could be.
Well, why would E40 or Too Short want to come to your podcast?
Okay, so that's
Because he
another
thinks it's
question,
cool.
right? That's another question. Maybe a relationship or something like that. So if you're starting out a podcast, right? You're thinking, how can I get somebody big on there so I can get some sort of following? But maybe it's just the content itself that's just so great that people want to listen. So something like what Dave De Silva does at Spot Trender is take a demographic. I'll let him explain it, but he'll take like a demographic and then he'll play some sort of content, show them some sort of content, and get some sort of feedback. Is that what a podcaster could do? I'm selling it for him, right?
Hey,
So
yes.
can B Knockin' and I get like commission as well?
You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's say he's got this podcast. He had this podcast back then.
Right.
How does he know what episodes are hot that he should push or double down money on to push out and just things like that?
Well, there's really one way to do that. You just kind of test each episode as you're doing it.
Right.
So you're getting like instant feedback.
Right.
Kind of,
So you could do that with Spot Trender, right?
Totally, and it's not even going to be anything that you have to learn new. I mean, you
Right.
just take, you finish making the episode, upload it into our platform. You just put together the key questions you want to get answered. You arrive at, okay, so our goal is to drive more listeners, but why are the listeners deciding to listen to you? We
Wait,
want to know why.
I need to take this back 2 seconds.
Sure.
I need to take this back 2 seconds.
Do it.
All right. So, me, myself, and I,
Okay.
throughout our conversation, I'm not fully sure what the platform is.
Okay.
So, if I was to be Googling, right? So, if I was to get in Google and I was Googling certain words, what words would bring up Spot Trender in the Google search engine?
Good question.
Ad testing.
Ad testing.
Yeah. Content
testing.
content testing.
Content testing.
So now check this out. B Knockin' has a podcast.
Lil Ninja, Fat Boy,
From Tokyo to Silicon Valley.
yeah, Oakland, the town, all that. It's good. We in here, man. The 2 days, be knocking. It's good. That was Lil Ninja. So yeah, back to the top.
That joint was actually knocking.
That shit slaps.
It was.
That was knocking.
That's some fucking good music
Be
right
knocking.
there. Yeah.
Check it out. So we just having fun, man. We just talking about everything from tech, life to art, culture, mistakes, failures. We talk
Yo,
about everything.
so I'm always very open with this. I drive Uber, right? So I'm an Uber driver, and I be mobbing around the Bay and shit,
Yeah.
right? So yesterday was hella funny. I was driving, and right now they got these fires going on. The fucking shit's fucked up, right?
North and south.
The air quality is crap, right? So I have my windows locked.
Yeah.
And I'm driving through the city, and this guy gets in my car, and he's like, "Hey man, do you mind rolling the windows down?" And I was like, "Oh no, not right now, bro." And he was like, I said, "I'll turn the AC on, right?" He was like, "All right, cool." So I turned the AC on, and then after a while, he's like, "Man, I just wanted some fresh air. I didn't want AC. You could turn the AC off." And I was like, "Oh shit, did I offend him?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then next thing I could hear in his headset, and he's like bumping Sway Lee.
Word.
Yeah, he's bumping Sway Lee, bro.
Sway got hits.
You know what I
He
mean?
got hits.
He's bumping Sway
I
Lee,
love
and I turn around and I'm like, "Yo, so you listen to hip hop?" And never mind you that this is in San Francisco, a tech white guy.
Yeah.
I don't think we relate to each other. And
Right.
I feel like we just had kind of a weird conversation because I told him, "No, you can't roll the window right on me."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and he was
Awkward.
like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, you listen to hip hop?" He's like, "Yeah." So my son's 11 years old, and he's 11 years old, and ever since he started listening, I like this stuff, man.
Wait, he talked just like that, like he did right now.
Did he?
Because that was perfect. I can imagine the dude too right now. Hey, so speaking of that, right? So I used to DJ, and I won't name the spot, but I used to DJ at a place out here in the Bay Area that's there's money.
Right.
There's Lambos and stuff in that area.
Money.
And it's crazy because you'll have 3 older white chicks,
Yeah.
really conservative, they got some cool jewelry on and they're just in their little group. They come up to the DJ and they're like, "You got Spice One?"
You got Spice.
And I'm like, "Did you just say Spice One?"
What song?
Wow, man, they named all sorts.
What song?
And they would scroll through their phone
Right.
and they would go, "Oh, never mind, Players Club, Rapping Forte instead."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "You listen to that?" Yeah. And they're like, and then they would go, I know the whole song."
Wow.
So
Wow.
hip hop has gone from I'm hiding this from my parents
Right.
to
I'm listening to it with my parents.
Yeah.
to my 11-year-old listens to this and it's on the playlist and I'm bumping it too.
Right.
That's where it's gone to. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
And E40 and Too Short, shout out to them. One of them had said, your grandmother, your mother, and you are listening to me. All generations. I mean, think about it. That is crazy. So you got Mr. Levy. I think his first name is Adam. The Box.com founder and CEO.
I have to do this again.
Was it not recording?
Yeah, it's recording. It's not. No, not
Oh,
that.
he's talking about Spice One.
Oh,
I second this. This is okay.
You gonna play
I'll listen to it.
Spice One joint?
Yeah.
Dope. Play it.
I don't. Hold on.
It's the joint with the different liquor he's talking about. Yeah. Oh, that's the one! They had asked for this.
Cause we got that in the bushes. Woo!
They asked for this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
3 conservative chicks and they said, "This the one with all the different liquor."
Oh, so they totally
Yeah.
knew what it was. They knew what they were asking
And shout outs to Dave Da Silva. You know, he comes from the 510.
I have a 925.
Sorry, 925.
But thank you, I'll take it.
So that's what it was. When you said they asked you to play Spice One, I was like, yo.
And they knew the word.
I knew it was some like little tech white kids that are like, yo.
They knew the word.
Yeah.
And then,
Bro.
And then one of the girls was like, "What's that Rapping Forest Hay song? The one that goes dun, 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 dun." And I said, "Oh damn, they know." I mean, it was
So,
just like on.
Here's what it is though. When we're talking about how do we get these people to talk about things that come out of bring them out of their regular, you know what I mean, day to day, getting in suit and tie, or you know whatever it is that is their day to day thing that is like unrelatable to cool people.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to get that. You know what I mean? Like, because when he looked at my computer, he's like, "Oh, he's on that Spice One. I approve of this." You know what I mean? It's just
that's the goal of this podcast, is to take something that makes money, is in people's lives every day, but at the same time take them out of their cubicle,
right,
and say, "What's your favorite song?"
Well, to get out.
And they name songs like that. You know what I mean?
You know,
earlier I was talking about Mr. Levy. I think it's Adam Levy, Box.com founder and CEO. They had Big Boy from Outkast perform at their, I think it was like
Corporate
some sort of
event.
conference.
Right.
I mean, that's huge.
Right.
You know, like Salesforce had Janet Jackson
Right.
and Metallica.
Right.
Metallica, because they're using the platform for
These
marketing.
young kids don't know
But
freaking Janet Jackson and
They
Metallica.
They do.
They should have had little
They know,
Yachty.
no, I know. They know the name Janet Jackson, but they couldn't name the song.
You feel me? Like the little Uzi Vert or somebody that they can relate to in 2018.
You got a little Uzi Vert featuring Janet Jackson? No.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah,
All these people be on Twitter talking about Lana Del Rey.
I know. I don't even know what she looks like. I heard the name. I probably know the song. They all
I
just
don't
sound
think she
like.
looked too bad.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me Google that. Yeah, man. I mean, that's just where tech is coming to. You
Right.
got people sitting in their cubicles, probably programming with headphones on, and they're playing Spice One.
Here's another thing. San Francisco, right? They always talk about the culture of San Francisco and how it's gone. How the coolness, the music, the artist, the vibe is gone. It's not the same vibe.
I think the drugs are still there.
They're on the ground.
No, they actually come from companies like Pfizer.
Sorry.
Fentanyl.
I took a few part right.
It's the one. It's the one where it gives you like 80 problems to solve one problem.
But what the deal is like, we have to infuse that back into the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Like, we have to give people...
We need an identity.
Yes. Like, we need a South by Southwest.
We do.
We need a South by South. You know what I mean? We need some type of a musical event where it's like tech, it's culture, it's film, it's music. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dope ass musicians here in this area that everything is confused. Every person when they go to work, they have their fucking Beats by Dre on.
Yeah.
Shameless tag, but you know what I mean? Like everybody.
Shout out to Dre, Beats, and Apple.
Every techie that gets into my car puts their headphones on, and I can hear what they're listening to, and it's trap drums.
So check this out. We'll lead the way for a conference like that, but we'd love like some feedback from companies,
It's trap drums.
sponsors. Yeah.
Ideas, how to
Artists.
shape it.
The conferences are out there. They're just not here.
When I play Lil Wayne in my car, everybody sings it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You got techies.
everybody sings LMA.
Yeah. So when he plays
Techie.
Lil Wayne in his Uber, a CEO got a red flag in his right pocket. He's banging blood.
Techies listen to some of the nastiest music out there. I mean, I'm guilty of this as well. That's why I'm
we
saying.
appreciate this.
I
we
love it.
appreciate this session with you right now. So tell us more.
Oh man, I have a reputation amongst my friends for listening to, some of the most vulgar rap out there. Lil Wayne,
Right.
For starters, was one.
Right.
2 Chainz, I lived off 2 Chainz for solid year.
A solid
Knew all
year.
of his songs.
Yeah.
Particularly like trap music. That was a great album. I had a lot of fun to that.
Yeah.
What else?
You were selling more.
You know what? I'm from the
because-
Bay Area though. It's different. I was raised
Right.
on Mac Dre.
I was raised on that.
So I know
It's
all
our
of
culture, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's my culture.
So Dave
Our
Da Silva
culture.
ends
It's
his
our-
sales call with yee.
That's where I hang up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's
Right.
not too hard for the radio.
Not around me.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
Not around me.
I like it.
So, with all these companies around here, right?
Yeah,
like we were
right.
talking about earlier, we were talking about outside, a company like Empire, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that's a company that I've always strived my entertainment label aspire to be similar to. You know what I mean?
I don't know too much about them.
Okay.
What are their?
Empire is
This is where people build companies into household names. You got E40 and Too Short who sold music out the trunk, became their own business, to the point where Jive and all these record labels are like, hey, what are you guys doing up there? We're trying to get you a part of us. And they get to go, we'll be part of you, but you got to give us 95%. You can have 5.
fuck you.
To the point where Jive goes, okay, sure. And they did.
Exactly.
That's how this independent hustle took off. So artists from Texas, Kansas, and certain places, they came over here to Master P, Louisiana. He came
That's
up
right.
here, Richmond, and he said, I gotta learn what they're doing up there. Shout outs to Master P, No Limit, that whole crew. I mean, they were dropping an album week after week after week during the Priority days. And Priority, for those of you who are not familiar, they were the record label for NWA, Ice
NWA.
Cube, West Side Connection, a lot of Bay artists,
Yeah.
San Quinn and those guys were on there. This was like the powerhouse in the 90s.
Yeah.
And, at that time it was press and distribute, so they were pushing CDs and all that. But, I heard they're trying to come back.
Right.
But right now, if you're not in the digital game, like even E40, he's like, I'm now going to start looking into spins and streaming and all that. And he's riding that wave versus saying, oh, that'll never take off.
No, you jump in it.
So that's the thing about Silicon Valley.
You
is
jump
we
in it.
create trends,
Yeah, you ride. You
And
ride
you
it.
ride.
Yeah, you ride it.
or you make it better.
Right.
If
Ride or die.
Yeah. If Wendy's comes out with 2 patties, you're like, oh, I'm gonna start one with 3 patties. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Oh, I'm gonna do vertical patties.
yeah, square ones, round ones,
Yeah.
Right.
organic ones, processed one, horse meat. I mean,
No knock horse meat.
I'm not good. I know it's in my Taco Bell food, man.
So, hey, so I do. In closing, right?
Right.
What should we get people to be looking forward to in the future to come from this podcast?
So start it off, be knocking, and then we'll get to David Da Silva, and then I'll finish it off.
For me, you're gonna hear about hip hop, new music, things we're doing in the community, different stuff like that. I'm very, like, an artist was hitting me up the other day and was talking to me about his project, and I was just like, yo, like, I miss giving things to people. I miss bringing content to people.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? I miss I like listening to people. I love going and listening to people's podcasts. But I'm a deliverer.
Yeah.
I'm a producer.
Yeah.
So just producing this content, I just want people to, like, be able to join in and, like, enjoy what we're doing and support, you know what I mean? And just tune in with us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dave Da Silva.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of how to perhaps drive more business, and here's some insights on how to continually increase more of what you want to do, which is, make things happen in this world, and constantly add value. Probably hear some smart commentary on the news, and jokes.
Like the Vietnamese, like international news that you were on.
That's right. That's right. Vietnamese national TV.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Good.
For
Okay.
now.
Cool. So I'm going to speak on behalf of this team. Clothe. Different backgrounds, different styles of everything from creativity to business to whatever. We all have side hustles. We have full-time hustles. We have part-time hustles. We're doing a lot. And so what I want to throw out there, you're trying to get into tech. I did it with no college degree. I can help you with that. Dave DeSilva can help you with that. You want to earn a decent income. We're not saying you're going to make millions. You might want to go listen to Gary Vee or somebody who can help you with that. But we can help you with just doing something and then taking that money and flipping it into like what B Knockin's doing, whether it's podcasts or music, anything like that. So we're planning an event. We're gonna keep doing content like we're talking about. We're gonna do events, whether just to expose you to like cool things that you may be interested in, but we're definitely gonna be helping teach how to make beats, how to rap, how to sell, how to market yourself.
Right.
Anything you guys want to learn, we'll get an email address out. We'll get maybe like a voicemail number or something too. You guys can leave all sorts of ideas and thoughts, and we'll go get the resources. Again, I am bragging that we're in Silicon Valley and there's a lot going on here. LA may have the actors and music and all that, but we have the distribution, the technology, like DeSilva said, the marketing. We have talent up here with little resources, and they're getting stuff out to people, and we can show you all that. So that's it. I mean, cut cloth. Again, we're just from a different cloth than you are too, but this is a cloth you can't special order.
Period. You can't special fucking order.
Ooh.
And we out of here.
We out.
Like.
Y'all have a good week. Peace.